Godforge. We got the leaks. Being model, I think it has the value to actually be used as like a common or rare and maybe even world boss. I mean, the Minotaur is literally a world boss in mythology, right? You go through the maze and you meet the Minotaur at the end. That's a world boss, in my opinion. So I think this is a really cool concept. We can kind of see, and even just the way they have it marked out here, we have this could be like, you know, the rare, epic Minotaur world boss, right? It could totally work that way. I don't see why it can't. And you can kind of see their reference pictures. We have the Damascus goat, very derpy looking. From this is very derpy looking. I cannot tell a lie on that. And then we have looks like the American bison, the American buffalo, which is fun little fact about those things. They are massive, massive creatures. When I graduated college, my buddy picked me up and we did a road trip and did some camping. And we stopped in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming. And we were stopped in traffic for about 30 minutes. We didn't know why. And then lo and behold, out of the traffic in front of us comes a bison, a literal bison. It stopped next to our car, did one of these little side eyes, and then kept it moving and kept walking. This thing was bigger than my buddy's 2001 Nissan Altima. Like mid-sized car, a mid-sized Nissan car. This thing was bigger than the Nissan Altima. Needless to say, pants were not clean that day. We were both pooping bricks, guys. Massive, massive creatures. But anyway, you can kind of see, I have a feeling we're going to see different models are going to have different weapons, because we have an axe and we have the club here, Gilgamesh axe, and we have the Hydra club from Hercules here. I would also like to see something like a big, huge cleaver. If you're familiar with Gears of War, there was I forget the name of the character, but there is a character that carries around a huge cleaver. It's like a 3-foot long cleaver, and that would be really dope to see on one of these kind of characters. We'll kind of keep it moving here. There's a lot going into this one today, guys. Not a lot of detail as far as some of the slides that we're going to see, but a lot of detail as far as showing what goes into actually building these characters out for us. You can kind of see day 3. We have a block out, kind of a claymation looking render here. Not a lot of detail to it, but enough detail to kind of know what's going on. Really think that's going to look cool once it's fleshed out. I think you're going to really like it. We kind of come here, same thing, day 3, go into the 3D model as we spin him around. You can kind of see the detail, all the muscle striations that are going into him. He is jacked. He is ripped. It looks like me after I work out at the gym, guys. Not really. Not really. You can kind of see day 8. So just about 5 days later, we have him mocked up in the low poly work in progress. This is going to be like the wireframe for going into the engine to make them move and stuff like that. If you're familiar with all of that kind of stuff, really cool to kind of see this side of it as well. And then what is that? 1 day later, day 8. Yeah, 1 day later, day 9. Low poly is done, guys. And then the UV's done. So the UVs are going to be like the coverings and stuff like that. Just from these models that we can see here, we have the loincloth, we have the belts, we have, you know, the gauntlet shields right here, all that kind of stuff. All of this is, you know, done, and you can kind of see just from day 8, the basically the start of that wireframe to the end of the wireframe. You can kind of see just how much more dots there are, right? More dots mean more points of origin for the actual engine to run from. So that's going to mean a smoother animation when it comes to everything. So, and then just a couple days later, we have another 3D mock-up in that kind of claymation statue style. You can kind of see we get a lot more lighting and shadow play coming into this. My favorite of these 4 angles is the straight on, because we have the light coming in from the left and the shadows on the right, and it just makes him look incredibly menacing. I love this kind of a vibe from a character that could be, if it could be reused asset and used as like a rare champion, common champion, epic or legendary, or a boss. You definitely want it to be have that potential to be menacing and everything. So I really like that straight on view. Coming here to, day 14, just another, we're 2 weeks into to working on this champion, and we have some texturing. You can kind of see the start of like the fur and the veins, popping. We're getting the color in here on the loincloth and the belt, and his tattoo of what are those? Those are olive branches, right? So, maybe he just really likes olive oil. I don't know. Maybe you're gonna have to ask him once the game is out. You know, maybe that's his secret power is he's gonna eat a caprese salad and just start stomping on dudes. But you can see the next day, day 15, texturing is done. You can really actually, it doesn't look like a lot if you're just kind of cruise through, like, oh no, yeah, everything's here. But then you kind of come in here and you kind of dig in a little deeper. You can kind of see a little bit more of that kind of shading, and we see the shading under the veins, guys. Shading under the veins. We have the texture on the skin popping through the fur. You know, kind of almost looks like some blood or dirt under the fingernails. Really cool vibe. Definitely has not seen a toothbrush in his entire life. Bro is just out here munching on roots and stuff to try to keep clean. I respect it. I respect it. I don't like it. His breath is gonna stink like high hell, but it is what it is. And then here we see the engine testing. This is our last slide in the leak here, guys. But I really like what I think we're seeing here with these. What is this? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, with these 7 slides, he's at a different angle in each one of them, and feels like it feels like this is gonna be like the index screen for him. And when we spin him, we're gonna get a different view of the world as it rotates around. Uh, which I really hope is the case, because a lot of us are coming from Raid Shadow Legends, and if we're on their index page, we know if we're on that index page and we're looking at a champion, we spin that champion, they have their little animations that they do. Cool, great. But that background is just a static image, whether it has its own animations or not. It's just stuck in that one frame, and our champion is spinning around, on their own. If we can have this, it's a very small thing from a user standpoint, but I think it's a really big thing from a development standpoint, because it takes a lot more energy, a lot more time, a lot more manpower to actually do this. But it looks like when we spin our character around, the entire world is going to spin around with it. And I kind of get that vibe right here from this top right screen here, because we have this head on a stone pike right here. And if we come down here to the second in from the left with the banner flag here for a clan, sorry, for a faction flag right here, but we also have that same head statue right here. So what tells me this faction flag right here is probably, if we took this world out this way, look, it would probably be somewhere in right in here as well. So you can kind of see the different world that he's gonna be in. It looks like he's gonna be, somebody. He's like a billy goat, mountain goat. He's gonna live high up in the mountains, where it's where those hooves have really good footing. I love this character. Whether he's a rare, whether he's a common, whether he's a world boss, whether he's a legendary or an epic, I don't care. I'm gonna be stoked to actually get in there and use him. Have no idea what the kit would be. If he's going to have an axe or a club, you imagine he's just going to be a little bit of a damage dealer right off rip. Uh, Probably not going to have the best multipliers if he's a rare or a common or something like that. If he ends up being a world boss, he could have really good multipliers. We don't know. That's stuff we're going to have to see Hopefully we get to see it soon when the beta comes out. I'm looking real forward to that beta, guys. If you haven't seen the video, I'll link it down below, but I do have a video showing how to sign up for the beta. If you haven't seen that, by all means, and for whatever reason, if you're watching this and you haven't signed up for the beta, definitely hit that link down below because you can actually go watch how to do it. And it's easy process, but a lot of people have a lot of the same question every time they go through it. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. We're going to be streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/JKGBrandon. We're going to be streaming some Raid Shadow Legends on Saturdays. We may actually also go through and try to catch up on all the different Godforge videos while we're doing that, and react to some of those live and see what your guys' thoughts are as well as mine. So definitely come through on Saturdays. We're probably going to shoot for before noon Pacific, sometime between like 10 and 11 a.m. Pacific time. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys like this one. If you did, as always, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps out the channel, helps me grow as a creator, and bring you some stuff that you're going to like. And I will leave you with that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And yeah, I'm JKG Bren. Y'all been amazing. Love you guys. Peace.